And we will start in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our coverage of SoCal Stage 24, the premier DanceRush Stardom Tournament series hosted in lovely Southern California. My name is S4M. You guys can call me Dennis. I am joined today by our 5th seed coming out of our online qualifiers. He will be our 5th seed going into our tournament day bracket in August 10th. I am joined by Nishipan. He is going to be representing Main Place Mall here in lovely Southern California. Nishipan, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey guys. Oh,
You good? No worries.
I'm so sorry.
You good?
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, how you doing? Would you like to tell the audience members a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nishipan, but formerly my name is Panotez. I've been in two other tournaments, uh, being a finalist in both tournaments. The first one being Stage 3, and the second one being Mistake on the Lake 5. I do want to give a shout out to all of the main place members in Santa Ana, especially kudos to the ones who competed in Stage 24. They did an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we have more representation this year. And I'm happy that one of us in the main place team is qualified for Stage 24. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was such a stacked tournament this year. Like even in comparison to Stage 3, or even probably some of the other Mistake on the Lakes of the Eclipse, I thought that this tournament and the online qualifiers were so stacked. So I wanted to ask you as well, like, what are your thoughts on being a finalist? It's been about like 3 weeks since the results have come out. Like, has anyone asked you how you felt? Like, what are your thoughts so far on making it as the 5th place seed?
Yeah, my own team had faith in me because obviously I was a finalist in the previous two tournaments that I was in. Um, they have so much support for me, and for me, I mean, it's not like it's not. It's for me. It's it's still a tough battle for me because it's not like, oh, I'm for sure going to get in. No, 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 because I actually wanted the my other team members to get in, to give them a chance actually, because as as much as it's good for me to enter, it's nice to see some fresh faces. And I'm really happy that we have more representation because I believe Stage 3 was just only me and Sass at the time,
Yes. Yeah.
and it was just the two of us, and that was it.
Yeah, I
And
mean, already you've already mentioned just repping Main Place Mall, and truthfully, Main Place Mall has gone through waves of being very, very active and then not so much, as with probably most Dance Rush communities. But how do you feel as not just a representative of SoCal, as we only have 2 representatives this year versus Stage 3 where we had 4? What are your thoughts on
right.
not only repping SoCal, but repping Main Place Mall and being the sole representative there?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, like, what are your thoughts on repping SoCal and Main Place Mall? Like, are you excited? Is it pressure? Like,
Oh,
how are you
yeah.
handling it?
So that's the big motivation for me for this upcoming tournament because when I heard the results that 4 out of 6 are out of state, it's like this isn't SoCal stage anymore. This is more like USA stage.
Right.
So um, yeah, not only that it's like just a representation for main place, but you are right for all of SoCal, including for youngest. Yeah,
Yeah.
youngest too.
Yep.
Yes. So me and him are basically like the defense of this tournament.
Holding back the
If he gets
invaders.
right. So if he gets knocked off, it's just me. If I get knocked off, it's him.
Mhm.
And if we're both knocked off, that's it for us. As a SoCal representation. But by all means, I mean this was a very open tournament. So I mean, hey, I if an out of state person wins, then they deserve it. If they're good enough, they deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that if you were to look at the sort of finalists. Like I could conceivably seeing any one of you 8 winning it. Right? That's how good all 8 of you guys are.
Right, right. We're also very different,
Yep.
I would say.
Yeah.
Like even even just like Sprite and Freshie, even though I mean they're both brothers, but uh there's specifically the little details they play very different.
Yes, I agree. I 100%
Very,
agree.
very different. They may look the same looking outside, but if we were to nitpick the little things, oh, they are really, really different.
I agree. Even if like sometimes you feel like they might have like the same song preferences, I agree. Dancing style is enough that they are distinct for sure.
Yes.
So talking on that and saying that all of you guys have unique styles is like I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I would say your style is very unique to all the other dancers too, and not just that. That your style has changed quite a bit, particularly from when you competed in stage 3. And I know you and I have talked about this more personally, but I wanted to ask you and the potential audience members that may or may not be watching this, like, how has that transformation been like from, I guess, Panota's stage 3 to now Nishipan stage 24? And
Ooh.
what's that progression been like?
So as I was making the transformation, so at the start of the before the transformation happened, I was, very like more on the hard style shuffling because I had the power, I had the weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout the transformation, I can control my stability, making myself feel lighter, feel smoother, flowier. So by the end of the transformation, I or during the transformation, going to the end of the transformation, I was able to actually control both ways. I can go hard, or I can either go smooth and flowy. So that's one of the styles I have.
No, I mean, I think that's totally that's exactly that evolution, right? And you and I have talked about exactly why you might made that change. We don't necessarily need to go into that today, but knowing that, then I think it lends itself really well into your submission. Which, before we even talk about your style in the submission, it would be a disservice for me and for everyone else that has watched the submission not to ask you why that song and what was the idea behind that tribal outfit you decided to put on, because it was definitely the most distinct outfit we had in the entirety of all 40 or so submissions.
Yes, yes. Yeah, everyone was shocked.
For sure.
Yeah, so for style, yeah, I wanted to choose a song. Well, first off, that no one would choose. Chaos of Drum is like, who chooses that
Yeah,
song?
old song. It's still a banger, but a little bit older, yeah.
Old song, yes, yes. Secondly, I wanted to choose a song where it has a breakdown. That way, I can show a different style, and then and then back to shuffling. You get me? Like not just constant shuffling all the time, but
Right.
a little bit of this, and then back to this. Kind of like a roller coaster of like, oh wow, like it's not just a performance; it's a show,
It is a
and
show, yeah.
that's where the concept comes in. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you probably there's no like how long did it take you to decide that Chaos of Drum is the one I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely gonna put on in this outfit because knowing you and knowing you committing to that, I could absolutely have seen you do that with a bunch of other songs with slightly different outfits too. Right? So like how long
Right.
did you know it was like, oh, it's Chaos of Drum?
So actually, when the online qualifier was announced,
Hmm.
and then on the first day, I had already my song planned, but it was not Chaos of Drum actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was actually Itsu's song, which was
Oh,
Majestic.
Majestic.
Yes, but uh, I haven't told any of my team this at the time because like it just announced, and I was already trying to find some songs I can like already start practicing and start studying to listen to.
Hmm.
So Majestic was the first one. because it was so flowy and smooth, and
Yep.
I thought I can really do the song justice, but I was lacking um, a very like showy performance, not just for the concept. I mean, like something something like exotic or something to show differently, because that song is just constant. You know, there's
Yeah.
no build up, there's no slow down. So I was like, what about if I choose a song where it was very hard hitting, you know, with nice bass, nice, and then with a nice build up, a breakdown, and then back to shuffling to where we started.
Hmm.
And that's when I found Chaos of Drum. And then I can think of a concept, and that's where the tribal stuff happened. So
Mm.
from that point, so it was not after maybe 2 weeks that, or two or 3 weeks that I actually locked in on Chaos of Drum.
I see. That makes sense. That's cool that you because I think outside looking in, it would have been really easy to assume, oh, I want to wear this tribal outfit. Let me pick a song that works with that. Chaos Chef Joe works with that. But you were mentioning, no. It was the other way around, right? It was like, this was a song
Yes.
that makes sense. The chart makes sense. Oh, what can I do with that? Oh, tribal outfit. Let me put on this like makeup and let me like
Yes.
stick out my tongue
Yes.
and just like all that.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned the reverse way. Why I think of the song first and not the concept? Because if I thought of the concept first and then I choose a song, it would be useless, because if I don't know the song, or if I can't really like work with the song, then the concept is trashed, right? So it's a good thing you mentioned the reverse thing. I want to choose a song that I can work with well, and then we can think of concept later. If the concept is not straight to the point, we can at least relate to that song just a little bit, just some details. It doesn't have to be a full on tribal outfit. So things like that. I just want to be safe on the song first, because
Right.
concept can't really save you 100% anyways.
Right. And I do think that some of the judges mentioned that, whereas like it was a cool concept, but if you weren't dancing well to it, they weren't gonna take you back, right? So
There you go.
for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So let's talk about then just the song, the chart, and sort of your style with it. And we alluded to earlier that your name change wasn't just a name change. Like it was in some ways it was a change of your identity and how you wanted to play Dance Rush. And you mentioned how at stage 3 you were a little bit more on the power side, had a little bit more weight, and sort of was a little bit more raw, in my opinion, on how you were dancing.
Yes.
Now you see it a lot lighter, a lot more stable, like you were saying. Like the stability is a big factor. And yet, I thought the brilliant thing was as you mentioned, your choice of song allowed you for moments of really high impact power. And then when it was nice and slow, okay, let's slow it down. And you were a lot lighter, right? So I wanted you to sort of
Yes.
speak on that change in style. Has it been hard to adjust to that? Like, what has the work been to make that change now? Because it is so distinct from how you were competing. I believe stage 3 was what, 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, how has that journey been?
So back then, I was playing only shuffle heavy songs
Hmm.
back then, like stage 3 era. And then there was a time where it's like, oh, I keep playing these same like songs. Like, can I just discover something new for a bit? And so I discovered all these like breakdown songs and like all these extraordinary songs. Then I thought of doing, oh, what if I just slow it down? What if I just become flowy and stuff? Even though it looked embarrassing, and or some people, oh, or if I didn't deliver the move well, it at least broke the shell of me trying to be different with my style.
Hmm.
And so time went on, and eventually I can, do these sort of things that you never saw back at stage 3, where
For
I'm
sure.
just like, oh, really shuffle focus. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, already just like the beyond the change in the way you do your running mans, which is a very distinct change. Like even now, I could see little bits of, as you were saying, cutting shapes, and you're so much lighter on your feet. I know I made this comment many times, but you're so light on your feet. You're so stable. I'm personally just so jealous of the way you do that because As a heavy person, it's not easy.
Oh, I'm amazed of myself. It's like I think one day when when I just was practicing on a weekday, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to cut shapes or try to look smooth, and then leaving round one that day, I was like, wow, I've never moved that smooth before, and then um, yeah, but it came with a price of like working like your ass off, you know,
Hmm.
because because you have to put, at least for me, you have to put some strength into cutting shapes. It's not like you can just like throw it smoothly and it'll become smoothly. It has to be with form at
Hmm.
least, you know.
Hmm. Makes
So,
sense.
hmm
Yeah, so let's shift gears a little bit then, right? Because I think, as you said, well defined now and that new style. How do you feel about your chances going into tournament day, August 10th, right? Now the whole dynamic changes, right? You're no longer having to perform for the judges by yourself. I think actually, who was it
uh,
that said it? It was Ryu. Ryu in our previous interviews brought up a really good point that now this stage in the bracket, you're almost not even competing against each other. You're competing for attention, right? Like if you can
um,
draw the attention more to yourself than the other opponent of the judge's attention, you're probably gonna win, right? And so I thought he put that so beautifully, right? Because
right.
tournament day is so different. Like, what's your expectation going into it? Do you hope to achieve big things? Or are you just there for the ride? Like, what's your expectation going into tournament day?
Okay, before I answer that, can we just say how much of a saint Ryu is? Like that man is just he's just so friendly to be honest.
He really
I
is.
talked
He
to him during
really is.
Mistake on the Lake. Oh my god, we just talked and talked.
Hell yeah. He's a homie for
But
sure.
yes. But to answer your question, so tournament day, actually, it's it's very different than how I think of Mistake on the Lake, which I won't. I will get into that, but considering for stage 24, I'm I'm just, for me it's about getting to the next bracket one at a time. I'm not shooting for champion. Let's go one at a time. Because if we shoot big, we might fall off the first step. That's kind of what my same mentality was in Mistake on the Lake 5. I know we shouldn't be. I don't know if we can mention
No,
other
by all means,
tournaments,
yeah.
but
I think it's relevant to you as a person. I think you should mention it.
okay. So Mistake on the Lake 5 is almost the same mentality as Stage 24, which was just shoot for finalists, or the next bracket, and then once we reach that, shoot for the next one. We can't just jump for champion right away. At least for my way of thinking,
Hmm.
because it gives me a much more simple mentality, kind of like, oh, I don't have to be stressed about anything. I don't have to be stressed about, oh, this person later on. It's like focus. It's almost like saying focus today and not tomorrow. Just
Be
focus what
present.
you need. What you right? Yes. So whoever's my challenge that tournament day, you are like my target. And then once I, either if I get knocked off or if I advance, then that's the next thing I shoot for, the next target. Eventually, when it's, let's say, if I do become grand finalist, now that's where I just like pedal to the metal, like killer instinct, like
Yeah.
just go for it, you
Leave it
know.
all out there,
But
yeah.
exactly. But just for as like being the top eight, let's just focus. I'll just focus on who's bracket with me first. I don't. I'm not. I'm not worried or scared or angry or anything to the other people who I'm not facing with. Let's focus on the person I'm with for now. We can we can deal with that person later on further. Or if, let's say, if I do get knocked off, then I'm just blessed to be a finalist for the third time. You know.
I love that mentality because I think you're right. I think it could be so easy to fixate on that ultimate prize, and like you're right, you got some business you got to handle like right in front of you. So being present and being
Right.
mindful of that, I think, is so important. So knowing that, then
Right.
I'm going to force you to think ahead.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to force you to think ahead, which is this. I wanted to know, and truthfully, I probably should have asked some of the other finalists this as well, but I wanted to ask you, is there someone you want to play in the first round, and is there someone you really want to avoid playing in the first round? You can maybe go into your strengths and weaknesses if you want. If you want to hide that because you don't want to give it to the competitors, I totally understand. But is of the 7 other finalists, who do you want to match up with? Who do you want to avoid?
Give me, well, the one I want to go up against, give me the one who won first place in the qualifiers, which is Young Hus.
Oh, you want a SoCal team kill?
No, it's not that. Okay, it's, I'll explain why. It's because it makes a much more dramatic effect. Okay, actually, I have 2 answers, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I have like a in reality, but this one is like, how can I say this? Kind of like in a perfect world, I guess. But the other one's a reality one. So in a perfect world, I would want to go against Young Haas because it gives me like the upper hand if I ever, let's say, if I defeated Young Haas, then that would mean I like his placement as first place in Online Qualifier, it just goes to show like oh, he didn't have enough to how do you say, like, to defend himself for the finals, which he should have really stepped up there. You know what I mean?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like
Or
that.
I guess Ryu, because he did win the judges' hearts. I mean,
Yeah.
but in reality, I would because but by the way, Young Hus, I don't want to go against Young Hus because he is the
Yeah,
SoCal
SoCal team kill. Yeah,
representative.
yeah, yeah, I got
So
you.
so just between you and me, I don't want to go against him
Fair enough.
because we're gonna get knocked out. That's it. If one of us will.
No, it's okay. You go against
There
him in
goes
the
our
finals. You'll go against him in the finals. Then we know SoCal's winning it. Then
right,
we're fine. There you go.
right. Okay, so in reality, I would want to go up against um anyone actually. I am not scared of anyone. I don't cherry
Hell
pick
yeah.
people. I'm not scared of anyone. I don't have hatred to anyone. Yeah, just give me whoever. It's okay. And then for people who I'm scared with, I guess I'm scared to myself because I don't know what I'm going to bring to over there. They might fear me, you know.
Ooh.
There might be moves that I throw out on tournament day that I didn't know that I didn't have a mistake on the Lake 5, or like
Right.
it's like, wow, I could do this. I unlocked my potential.
Right. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about tournament day is exactly that concept. You'll see the players absolutely throw moves. You're like, I've never seen you do that before. I'm pretty sure you know you've never done that before, sort of thing, right? So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, as we are wrapping up here, because man, that was I think for those that are watching and the audience members, if you guys would like to support Nishipan, and he is very much deserving of your support, as a reminder, our tournament bracket day will be August 10th out in Puente Hills Mall, located in lovely Southern California, hopefully nice, bright, and sunny. We are pretty much right in Nishipan's backyard, just a little bit anyway. If you would like to go support him, come out in person. We're playing in the afternoon. If you can't make it in person, there will be a stream. It'll be out of Henry Zhang's YouTube channel, so we'll be streaming on YouTube. But yeah, please come out. Please support Nishipan as he is our guest today. And before we kick it away, Nishipan, was there any shout outs, any more shout outs or anything you wanted to say before we cut it off here?
Shout outs to the SoCal Stage 24 staff. Thank you very much for hosting another tournament. Thank you to all the main place members who competed. I'm very, very proud of you guys. And shout outs to my parents. They've been supporting me on my dance rush journey
I
so
love
far.
that.
Shout out to the other finalists actually. I hope all of you, I hope the rest of you 7 come on tournament day very healthy and safe. And shout outs to the people who are coming or watching the live stream.
Shout outs to all you guys. On behalf of Nishipan, on behalf of Henry Zhang, our tournament organizer, on behalf of everyone else working for SoCal Stage 24, thank you guys so much. We'll call it a night.
Bye.